A very, very tight race. The record is 20.69. Ren Chai Serawan in 1999 in Brunei set that record. So will they get close? Well, they weren't too far away today, just under a second. So if they are pushing in today's event in this final, which you feel will be the case, maybe we could see yet another record here tumble. So as you can see, the stadium sparsely crowded, shall we say, people coming and going all day. Here is confirmation of the athletes that will be taking place in lane 8. That is Roskin, the bronze medal yesterday in the 4x100 metres race. In lane number 7 from Vietnam, Nguyen Van Nguyen has actually stepped up into the 200 metres, was 6th yesterday in the 100 metres. Here is the man to watch. He is the golden boy at the moment, the fastest qualifier with 21.6 seconds, and inside him is Steeplechase Chimdi, personal best of 20.68. That's the fastest of all the athletes here. Gold in the 4x100 yesterday. From Vietnam, Lee Trong Hin, 21.5. He has a personal best there, 8th in the World Youth Championship in Donetsk. Malaysia's Harith Amar, 4th in the 4x100 yesterday. Fadlin, part of that 4x100 gold medal yesterday, well, bronze medal, sorry, won gold in Palembang and also ran in the 4x100 in the Asian Games. And in lane 1, it's Mohammed Shami, who is 4th yesterday in that 4x100. So it's Malaysia, lane 1, lane 2, Indonesia, lane 3, Malaysia, 4, Vietnam, 5, Thailand, 6, Thailand, 7, Vietnam, 8, Indonesia. Can expect Jirapong to come out very, very quickly from lane 6 and lane 5 as well. Steeplechase Chimdi, the winners of heat 1 and 2, will be looking to try and push their advantage going into that bend. Well, this is a bit nervy again for the athletes. We saw it yesterday when green cards were coming out because there was a fault with the starter's gun. Hopefully we will not be having a repeat of that today. But you can see limbering up, just getting ready and trying to psych themselves up for this big, big event. And the starter just getting ready to call them to their blocks. It's going to be interesting to see this. As we mentioned, it's such a tight race, just 0.5 of a second in qualifying. The fastest qualifier was 21.67 seconds and the slowest was 22.08. So that is how close it is. And you feel that if they come out all guns blazing like they have done, then there's absolutely no question that we are in for an absolute cracker here. So they're called to order by the starter. They take their blocks and get ready for the gun. That's a good start in lane 7 for Nguyen Van Nguyen. Very, very close though, but catching straight round is Steeplechase, and Jirapong is in the mix as well. But Nguyen Van Nguyen in lane 7 has done really well and worked the lane extremely well. Jirapong's coming strong now. Jirapong in lane 6 looks as though he's going to cruise this, but it's going to be tight for who gets the silver. No one's going to catch Jirapong. A photo finish for silver and bronze, but a real comprehensive run from Jirapong Minapra. Real quality, so it's the double for him, the 100 metres and the 200 metres in a time of 21.27. That's just outside his personal best, but nonetheless you can see exactly what he put on the line there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
didn't get off as brightly as he would have hoped. It was Nguyen Van Nguyen in lane 7 that did all the running and the dictating. Falling behind was Mohammed Shamimi in the inside lane, but just after they've hit that bend, Jirapong really started to turn the screw and he pushed it home. Looks like it's Harith Amar in lane 3, but he gets done at the dip by Lee Trong Hin. And it is going to be Lee Trong Hin that wins the silver medal, and it is the Malaysian Harithama that wins bronze. They've got a joint time, but the photo finish is that close. And have a look there, Superchai just 0.01 of a second behind them as well.
From Indonesia.
That is how close it was.
Number 522, from Vietnam.
Now for the women's 200-meter final. Satriana Luciana in lane 1. Noman Kearney from Indonesia, lane 2. The pin-up girl in lane 3, Vu Ti Hong. Look out for her. She's definitely going to be the one to watch. Just we saw there, Neranuk Klomdi, an absolute legend as well. Shali Savaratnam in lane 7. Lane 6, Gwen Thi Oan, who will be competing in the 3,000 metres later on as well. Here is Patson in lane 5. Shanti Pereira, Singapore's very own national record holder. She beat that in the heats this morning. There is the legend that is Vu Tu Hang, who has actually won silver in the Asian Games as well. Nyoman Kearney, as we mentioned, from Indonesia, and Satriana Luciana in lane 1. Shanti Pereira, what a performance from her a little bit earlier in the day. She's actually beat her personal best, which was 24.54, which was set in Donetsk in July 2013, where she finished 8th in the IAF Championships, or the IAAF Championships, I should say. 4th yesterday in the 100 metres. And the 17-year-old looking to really impose. She got a good draw as well in lane 4 today, so it's a promising start for her here. She finished 2nd in heat 1 behind Vu Tu Hang, who is running on her inside. She's the last to take the blocks. Gold yesterday as well in the 100 metres, and really is a legend. A double in 2009 and 2007 of the 100 and 200 metres. So look out in lane 4, it's Shanti. Shanti gets off quite well. Vu Tu Hang is left in the tracks there, but picking up pace as well is Patscorn. But coming round the bend, you can see Vu Tu Hang catching everybody up and looking very, very strong. Patscorn is very, very good here as well. And in the outside lane there, there's a real opportunity for Klomdi. Cruising to victory though is Vu Tu Hang. Can she get the bronze? Shanti looked as though she just missed out on the dip, but what another magnificent run from her. Vu Tu Hang it is that has got gold again, so the 100 and 200 metres is her title yet again. Look at the start here from Shanti there. She gets off extremely well, a little bit slower out the blocks was Vu Tu Hang. Yeah, look, Klomdi in the outside lane there was really flying, but it's such a big curve and a big bend. And then Shanti started to pull it back here, but just next to her, Patson it was that just edged her out. You can see Shanti getting very, very close. It's an easy victory in the end, but it was lane 6, Gwen Thi Oan, that ended up with the bronze medal, just ousting Shanti Pereira. But that will be great experience for the 17-year-old. But the veteran 27-year-old, whose personal best time of 23.27 is the girl that gets the gold. Shanti gave it her best, but it wasn't to be. It's just outside the new national record, but that's how it finished.
Pin number 507.
Time now for the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase here at the 27th SEA Games. Thank you for joining us, Singapore. No competitor in this event, but a very, very young field, it does have to be said. Not a lot known about these athletes, but the two that are veterans are the Thai Patikan and also Reni Herrera. They will start in lane 6 and 7, or position 6 and 7, that's for sure, when it comes to this 3,000 metre steeplechase. That is Chan Myae-ong, the 23-year-old. 007, has he got a licence to kill, or will it be a licence to thrill? Myanmar have thrilled us with these games so far. Some of the athletes that have been on show have been outstanding. Mohamed Al-Kwasi, the 25-year-old, will go next. Marquardt from Myanmar is next. Christopher Ulbach, not too much known about him. Pham Thien San from Vietnam. There is Patikan and Reni Herrera, and also Ribeiro de Carvalho. And on the outside is Lee Trong Yang. A couple of 20-year-olds right on the outside there. Record was set back in 2001 in the KL Games. 8 minutes 40 seconds, 0.77, Eduardo Buenavista. Will anyone come close to that? We have the gold medalist from Palembang, the last edition of the Games, in number 305, Reni Herrera, 8 minutes 52.23 as they set off. Right on that back stretch, of course, 3,000 metres, 8.5 laps of the track remaining, so they don't go over the water jump for the initial first half lap, as it were. The cones get moved by the officials, and leading the run-in is Myanmar's Chan Myae-yang. And they're looking very comfortable. Not a blistering pace like you might expect from a few of the athletes, but you can see some of them pacing themselves. So there's 7 laps to go now. The half lap was the 8th. Oh, we have a 4 lap. Oh, that's a shame. Right at the back there, that looked like it was Myanmar's Marquardt that got upended as they went over the barrier. There's the other hurdle, and you can see certain athletes elect just to jump cleanly over it. Others, the foot on the top with a push-off. And keeping the pace nice and easy is Reni Herrera, the 34-year-old. He is the veteran of the field, and you can see the lap there in about 70 seconds, so it isn't blistering at the moment, that's for sure. There's the water jump, and again, not looking too easy at the back there. One was Marquardt, but it is the Filipino that just looks to take on the pace. Ran in the Asian Games as well, finished 8th on that occasion back in Guangzhou 2010. In a time of 9 minutes and 2 seconds, 0.93. Consider that his personal best was back in 2004. It just shows you how long he has been around, Reni Herrera. 8 minutes 49, so comfortably under the 9-minute barrier. I wonder if we'll see that today. So he is leading. Behind him is his compatriot from the Philippines, Christopher Ulbach, 23-year-old. Not too much known about him, actually. Just shot to prominence over the past 12 months or so. But looking incredibly comfortable there right on the shoulder. Patikan, the other veteran, the 29-year-old Thai athlete, is in 3rd place. Look at him, long and leggy, almost steps over that hurdle. And the pace not really quickening up at all. 5 laps to go. Starting to spread out a little bit though, as the two Filipinos try to take on the pace, and you can see just pushing from the middle there, Pham Thien San and also Lee Trong Yang the 22 and 20-year-old respectively, just trying to catch back up with the front three. Patricia Patikan in third. It is Ulbach in second. Herrera taking on that responsibility of leading the way. It looks as though there's a problem there. Chan Mayang looks as though he's struggling. And it is Pham Thien San that has joined that leading group, and not wanting to be left behind there was Indonesia's Mohamed Al-Quraizi. He's trying to close that gap up. How much will that take out of him? From 2 or 3 though, looking very, very comfortable. And we've got the break of 5, trying to get back in the mix as well is the other Vietnamese athlete, Lee Trong Giang. The Indonesians done well to close up that gap. Trying to get a bit closer. And Lee Trong Giang looks as though it's hurting him. Number 506, you can see him there just behind that pack now of 5. Quite comfortable. Trying to make a little bit of a move just there on the outside and edge up, and that's exactly what he's done. Oh, was there a step out there? Looked as though there could be a problem there for Patricia Patikan. He stepped over the inside line where the metal grill is for the track, and if that's the case, he will be disqualified because he will have been considered to have gone off track. So we'll have to wait and see what the officials say about that one. Now it's the 2 Filipinas taking it back on yet again. Just when it looked as though they were going to slow it down, the pace has increased that last lap. Hence the whittling down of the field. You can see there a good 15-16 seconds in front of the stragglers. Just going over that one, not looking very comfortable, was Mohamed Al-Quraizi from Indonesia. The bent knee right on top of the hurdle is not the best technique, because you have to push off, and he was caught square and flush on. That's better from him. But Pereira looking to increase the pace a little bit more. So it's Herrera 1, Ulbach 2. It's the Vietnamese athlete Pham Thien San 3, Patikan 4th. It will remain to be seen if he is still in the race or if he will be disqualified. 2 laps to go, so we can see a significant increase in the pace, which will start to pick up with about a lap and a half to go, that you can be sure of. Just look there as though Chan Mayang is just going to get lapped very, very shortly. And moving back up through the field is Patikan. It looks as though he's struggling, Chan Mayang. Got an injury there. That looks like it's a calf injury by the way that he's holding himself, but that's the dedication that you need to finish these games. Really struggling. And he's going to get lapped now. So 550 meters left to go. Again, comfort personified by Herrera right out in front. And it's the compatriot Ulbach that's starting to make a little bit of a move there. Just getting boxed out on that occasion is Patikan. And that's surprising, as Herrera has dropped off the pace. It is Christopher Ulbach that's taken this one on. It's the Vietnamese athlete Pham Thien San that's in second, but he takes on the run-in at the moment. The Thai Patikan, he has pushed as well. It's those 3 with Herrera dropping in behind. So Pham Thien San fancies taking this on, and there's a kick there from Patikan. That's 350 meters to go. That's a long way out to start your kick. Herrera's had a little bit of a breather. He's coming up on the outside, number 305. But it is Patikan. He's looking very, very comfortable here as he goes over the hurdle on the back straight. He has a little glance around. We haven't said much about Christopher Ulbach, who just looks as though he's cruising there. Pham Thien San looking to drop off. Herrera is in the mix. It is the last water jump. Patikan takes it early and takes it nice and takes it well. But then a nice kick there from Christopher Ulbach. It looks as though he's going to take on the mantle here. He's driving it forwards. It's not the fastest time we've ever seen in the games, but it is a comprehensive victory. He knows he's won. Christopher Ulbach is going to take gold. Who's going to get the silver? It is the Vietnamese athlete Pham Thien San. And in third place was Patikan from Thailand. Well, he got that one absolutely spot on. 9 minutes, 10 seconds, 0.1. Christopher Ulbach there ran a race that was pretty much right on the money. He stayed with his compatriot Reni Herrera all the way round, stayed on the shoulder, made absolutely no mistake. And big hugs there from the veteran. You feel that this could be his last SEA Games at the age of 34. Well, the champion has gone. The Philippines have a new champion. Here it is from about the start. There's that fall early on, and it was Marquardt that went down. There you go, just the heel. And that's what we were saying about the technique as well, getting it all wrong. And then from about 200 metres out, Patikan kicking hard, kicked a little bit too early. He kicked at about 350 metres, and you can see he's got nothing left in the tank there. That's where Christopher Ulbach had saved himself, ran a very calculated race. The 23-year-old had stayed on the shoulder the whole time. You can see what victory means to him. It's a fantastically tactical race from him, and he's won it with ease by about 8 metres from Pham Thien San. Look at him just powering away down the home stretch. Patikan, you feel, went too early because Pham Thien San caught him up, and he had a kick as well, but not a kick as big as Ulbach.
May I have your attention, please?
Well, there are pros and cons for going on the hurdle or over the hurdle, and that was good technique there from Christopher Ulbach.
Thank you.
I wonder how much longer it will be that he will stay on top. So gold for the Philippines. It is Thien San Pham, the Vietnamese athlete, that gets the silver, and bronze goes to Patikan, the 29-year-old from Thailand. Reni Herrera, the reigning champion from Palembang, has totally missed the medals, and we wonder if we would see him again. So that was the 3,000 metre steeplechase. What we've got for you now, though, we've got the 200 metres men's heat, so that we can have a look back at our Singapore athletes. That was very, very interesting this morning as we have a look at the champion, Christopher Ulbach. He's going to be very, very happy. And of course, the 200 metres this morning with our Singapore athletes. Look out for lane 5, Poomsae. He has a personal best of 21.87. Here is the lineup. Lane 7, Tet Zo Win. In lane number 6, Rozikin Mohammed Rozikin. Then it was Poomsae Song in lane number 5. A good draw for him. The 20-year-old, or the 30-year-old, sorry, looking to go strong in this. Chimdi Supachai ran in lane 4. Lee Trong Hin was in lane 3. And Malaysia's Mohammed Shamimi Azmi was in lane 2. The final was a little bit earlier on. We're just letting you know that, but we here like to show you as many athletes that we can throughout the SEA Games for Singapore, and the competing athletes that give up all their hard work, all the dedication, the hours that go into this, the time that's given and spent not only by the athletes themselves but that by the coaches, the support staff and everybody, and it's their opportunity to be seen. So let's have a look how Poomsae Song got on, running in lane 5. As mentioned, personal best of 21.87 this earlier on in the day. So call to order from the starter. They're off, and he started quite well there, has Poomsae Song. Just outside him though, Rozikin starting extremely well, but inside as well, Steeplechase Chimdi and Lee Trong Hin looking strong as well, but Poomsae Song really looking to push, but just couldn't see it all the way through. That was heat number 1 this morning. And Poomsae Song, well, he'll have to go back now and prepare for the Asian Games next year that will be held in Korea. So still some work for him to do. Let's just remind you that this is, of course, Heat 1 that was held this morning. Our opportunity to look at Poomsae Song, see how he is developing and coming on for the Asian Games next year. Started quite well, but then dropped back. But again, the pace there from Steeplechase and Rozikin, and of course Lee Trong Hin, just a little bit too much for Poomsae Song. Plenty more work ahead of him in the gym and on the track to prepare for next year, and also to prepare, of course, for the SEA Games that will be held in 2 years' time in Singapore. Has had a spell out though, a couple of years out, now has managed to get back into the athletics. So it's not like a tap, you can't just turn it on and off, you have to get back into the competitive edge and the competitive spirit. But nonetheless, there is confirmation that he did finish with a time of 22.59. As mentioned, his best time was 21.87, but that was when he was training a lot more and was clocked in 2009. So a little bit of work for Poomsae Song to do. Heat 2 was another Singapore athlete, Mohammed Alfi Mustafa, was running in lane 7. This again was this morning, it wasn't the final. It's again our opportunity to see all of our athletes compete, or as many as athletes that we can bring to you. There he is, Mohammed Alfi Mustafa, 21.90, that time set back in 2009 at the Gombak Stadium. Gwen Van Huen just in front of him. Inside him, Myanmar's Kwazin Ung. Quite a young race this one, 19 years old, and 19-year-old Harith Amar Mohammed Sobri from Malaysia. Jirapong, the legend that is. No one can get close to him at the moment in Southeast Asia. Fadlin, I think he's been watching a little bit too much of Usain Bolt there by the welcome to the camera. So ran a little bit earlier on. This was heat number 2 of the men's 200 metres. And it was Mohammed Alfi in lane number 7 running for Singapore. Once again, a little bit slow, the officials, in calling order and calling the athletes to the blocks. I know it's been a bane for all the commentators and the athletes in general, because once you get out there, you just want to perform. Having to hang around is not a good thing. So they are finally called to their marks. We're looking out for lane 7, Mohamed Elfi, who was the lead runner for the Singapore side with the 4x100 metres yesterday. When they won the silver medal. Young, obviously the local cameras focusing on him, and they're off, looking to take the bend very, very quickly, and going off quickly is Mohamed Elfi. There's a little bit of a gap opened up there, but Gwen Van Nguyen is coming strong, and it looks as though Jirapong is just coasting. Mohamed Elfi really pushing, but he's not going to have enough to make it through to the final. Jirapong, well, that's a jog. You feel that there could have been a new games record as he really, really pushed himself. But as you are all well aware, this was just the heat. It wasn't the gold medal event, which he did later go on to win. Of course, won that a little bit earlier on. As we have another look at the race, it seems as though the gun is starting correctly today, which is one big positive. Mohamed Elfi Mustafa just getting caught in that outside lane. It's a long arc and a long bend, and it's very difficult to come off that. And the athletes, they do like the middle lanes so that they can come off less of an angle. But as you can see, pushing all the way. And another athlete that will be looking towards 2014 in Korea with the Asian Games, but not only that, a couple of years' time back in Singapore when the SEA Games will be coming home. That is the difference, though. Jirapong just in cruise control. Pushing a little bit more is Hathrith Amar. Not even breaking sweat, though. He went on to win the gold medal, which we saw a little bit earlier on. Of course, this was the morning's activities, the heats, and there is confirmation that the top 3 qualified for that event that we brought you about half an hour ago. A fantastic run as well. So not only did Jirapong win the heat, he went on to win the event, and it's the double gold for him. He won the gold medal for the 100 metres, and he won the gold medal for the 200 metres. Real quality running from him. Well, plenty of action happening over here in Myanmar. Gold medals being picked up by all sorts of nations all over the place. And now it's the women's 3,000 metre steeplechase final. Just 6 athletes competing in this one. So all eyes will be focused probably on the Vietnamese girls, because they are known to be strong in this event. But we've already seen an upset and a shock in the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase with Christopher Ulbach winning. Here is the starting lineup. Kin Marsal will start in 1. In the second position, Gwen Thi Oan, who ran in the 200 metres as well. Or has she pulled out? No, she's still there. That's it. In number 3, Rini Budiati. Number 4, Jessica Barnard. And number 5, Gwen Thi Thuong. It looks as though Tan Tho Kin has pulled out of this race. Is it? No, she's in. It is Gwen Thi Thuong that has pulled out from Vietnam. So the silver medalist from Palembang will not participate in this event. She will probably be looking for the 5,000 metres and longer races to boot. So just the 5 athletes. You wouldn't mind that, a 1 in 5 chance of winning a medal. There is Jessica Barnard, the leggy Filipina. You can see there she has number 4 on the side of her shorts. Number 3, Rini Budiati from Indonesia, the 20-year-old. The youngest athlete is the Vietnamese Gwen Thi Oan, who's 18 years old, and that's a very, very fast start from Rini Budiati. Faster than the men's, it has to be said. As much as this is about pushing for yourself, it's about knowing your limits and when to go. How many times have we seen athletes sprinting off only to be caught up after about 3 or 4 laps? Again, as is the norm with the 3,000 metre steeplechase, the jump over the water not included in that first half lap, as it were. So 7 laps to go after they reach the line here. Comfortably in front, Rini Budiati. Personal best of 10 minutes, 0.58, so yet to beat that 10-minute mark, and a real mistake there. Tanto Kin couldn't get over the hurdle, had to come back and then jump back over it. But I don't think we've ever seen anything like that before in, never mind SEA Games history, I think history altogether. That was quite remarkable from her. The 20-year-old, well, look at that. This is just going to be a one-horse race, you do feel. She did win the gold medal in Palembang in 2009. This should be interesting to see how Tanto deals with it. Oh, both feet in. Well, that victory in Palembang was a games record, and it was also a national record for Indonesia. Considering she was only 18 then, she really has come on leaps and bounds. So it will be interesting to see what time she clocks here. Comfortably out in front, no problems over the hurdles. In second place, just coming up there, is Gwen Thi An. She's got a personal best of 10 minutes 25.63. That was set in Giang in August 2013. So quite amazing, really. You would expect a 200-metre sprinter to go in the 200, the 100, possibly move up to the 400, but to run the 200-metre and then the 3,000-metre steeplechase is absolutely remarkable. That was a bit deep. She didn't push off enough there off the top of the hurdle. Caught a little bit more water than she would have hoped for, but this is a huge gap that's starting to open up. Never mind between first and second, but between second and the rest of the pack as well. Five laps to go. This type of race is all about mental strength now. That's what it's going to be down to Rini Budiati. She's not being pushed. It's her against the clock. It's her against herself. She could go on to easily, comfortably win this, or it could go horribly wrong. That's why these athletes train now with psychiatrists. They train non-stop, and I know that she has been spending a lot of time in the gym and with her psychiatrist mentally for these games to prepare, and it looks as though it's paying dividends. As you'll notice, and you'll see that the women's hurdle is just slightly shorter than the men's hurdle. 36 inches high for the men, and it's 30 inches for the women. Comfortably over that. So 4 laps to go. Can she really drive it on and give us a new record? That is the question. gap now ever increasing. That's how comfortable she looks. There you go again. Has managed to run a 4:18.69 in the 1500 metres as well. That was in Bangkok back in 2007. It's 34th in the IAAF World Cross Country Championships as well. That back in 2006. So comfortable here, very comfortable. Actually raced a 10-minute 1.77 in Mumbai in September last year. But of course, that was eclipsed by the Palembang timing of just 0.58 of a second over 10 minutes. There is Jessica Bernard trying to come through and trying to close that gap. I feel that that's going to be an interesting one to see who will finish with the bronze medal. Again, just a little bit shallow there. That's how you can cause little injuries, little tweaks. So she'll need to keep focused and mentally strong. Two laps to go. Well out in front and very, very accomplished. This is going to be back-to-back gold medals for her. And just pushing in there was Tanto and also Jessica Bernard. It's as though the gold medal and the silver medal is a basic shoe-in. It's who's going to finish with the bronze. Will there be a sprint out? The question is as well though, can Rini Budiati push all the way and get a new record? She slowed down there a little bit. She knows this in the bag. Wow, that was thigh high going over that one. It wasn't like at the start when she was pushing right off and just getting her ankles wet. So she will hear the bell. .400 meters to go. If she puts a lap in here, she could do it quite comfortably. You think that this is going to be about the 10-minute 5, 10-minute 10 though. No pressure whatsoever. It is all about the medals for these athletes when they compete. She's already got the record. She would like to cut it down a bit. She's just having a look across there a little bit, and she's blowing a little bit as well, it has to be said. So she's not backing down. She's really trying to push. So 200 to go. As Tanto and Jessica Bernard look as though they're going to be sorting themselves out for that bronze. Almost a stumble. She gets away with it. And Kin Marcel is going to be lapped. The question is can she get down the straight quickly enough? I feel it's just going to go. It's going to be a sub 10:05, I think. That's how close it's going to be. There's the 10. It's come 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 10:04.54, so not her fastest race ever, but it was her against the clock the whole way, as Kim Marcel still has 400 metres to go. There's confirmation of the winner. Really, really comfortable. Gwen Tae-an is going to win the silver. She comes through in second place. The 18-year-old doing ever so well to compete and complete the course. She looks absolutely shattered. That would have been the quick pace that was set by Rini Budiati to start with. The question is who's going to finish third, because Jessica Barnard and Tan To have been running together all the way around, and it is Jessica Barnard that has increased the pace that last lap, and she's going to push it through, and she's going to get the bronze for the Philippines. So gold, silver and bronze all sorted out. It's the Philippines with Jessica Barnard that got the bronze. The silver went to Gwen Tae-an, and Kim Marcel is just coming through now. She's on that back straight. The gold medal, of course, went to Rini Budiati. No problems from her whatsoever. Well, we're going to head for a short break. We've got plenty more action coming after. Make sure you stick with us. Over the hockey field in Yangon, Singapore took on Malaysia, and Malaysia, of course, the exploits that they have had were going to be very, very difficult opponents. They get it into the box. Nice little bit of stick work there. Easily finished off by Matthew Abdullah Jalil. It was that set it up very, very nicely for Malaysia to take a 1-0 lead. Well, when you have a look and you consider Malaysia and what they have done in the hockey arena, there's no surprise that they are currently top of the pool, having won all of their group games. Singapore, though, they were in with a shout, having beaten Vietnam 12-0 in the opening encounter, winning against Myanmar 1-0. There is still hope that they can go through to the gold medal match. Nice word, looking to keep possession. Iswapol losing out, as was Balakumar. Free hit awarded. This is, of course, the silver medalists from the Asian Games in Guangzhou. Malaysia, fantastic achievement that they've done and had. Oh, that's given away. That's very sloppy. Good closing down. Sivalingham trying to put the pressure on. But Malaysia comfortable, just passing it around, looking to try and create openings. Good work down the flank, drilled in. That's going to be a corner, which of course can be taken from a few metres from the side, can be taken to yourself as well. These new rules really have increased the pace and the flow of hockey. It really has become a wonderful spectator sport. Here's the goal again. Look, the little cut back, the marking not there, just tucked home from Matthew. Made absolutely no mistake. Just push behind. Here's Poomsae, trying to make no mistakes, trying to keep it tight as well. Singapore have been developing of late and have been picking up results, that is for sure. Oh, fizzed in but goes behind, easily dealt with. And the running changes, as you can see, the game keeps going. You've just got to chop and change what you want and what you need to with the player that's coming on or off the field of play. A bit of time and space there for Abdullah. Drill across. Rahim keeping possession. Nice stick work there from Mizran. He keeps possession as well, nice and easy. Abdul Jalil plays it into the middle, gets it back. That's a good run from him and a good finish. That was a nice finish from him. Well worked, no question about that. Abdul Jalil in the wide area took it on himself to take on a few players, commit a few people. The little give and go, got it back in the circle and just tucked it into the far corner. Good finish from him. 2-0 Malaysia. No chance at all in goal for Suresh. Oh, that's well won back again. Malaysia looking to add a third, and that's exactly what they do. Couple of little mistakes there. Matthew again gets his second. Fired that one home, but again it's just little mistakes that are causing the problems here for Singapore. Matthew, good stick work there, getting the ball right out. Maybe a little bit of obstruction there from Abdul Jalil, but nonetheless you could see Suresh saying he's standing right in front of me. Well, the ball was in the back of the net before he could say anything at all. That's Malaysia with a thrill reload. Hit the foot, play allowed to continue. That's how feisty this encounter is. Play back in. That ball gone out of play, yes. Just snuck over the line. Just as well as you feel that would have been another one. Well, this will harden the hockey team, that is for sure. There's the scooping ball of field, easily dealt with. Rosley looking to keep possession. Helped up the line. Sumantri. Nazruddin getting caught there. Concedes the free hit, taken quickly. Nicely as well. Nazik it was, playing it wide. Fired into the middle. Considered to have been dangerous as it was elevated into a player. Oh, that's well read. Good defending there by Saiful Nizam. The chance here for Singapore to deliver into the box. That's just going to be a side hit for them. Singapore's turn to try and pass the ball around now and keep possession. They're doing it well. Now it's Sabri, plays that one forwards, but unfortunately nobody making the angle or the run. Harmlessly behind, so no problems there. Mizron in a deep position, fires that one forwards. It's a good ball as well. Non-stop running, it has to be said. And that's going to be a free hit for Singapore as the clock ticks down. Played forwards. It's a nice long ball as well. Possession kept. That was good from Saimi. Saimi, who scored the winning goal against Myanmar, that all-important goal in the 1-0 victory, which has given Singapore the opportunity and put them on the cusp of a gold medal match. This was always going to be the game that was going to be the toughest one for them to get anything from. Of course, they play Thailand tomorrow, and if they were to defeat Thailand, then they would be in the gold medal match, because they will be playing Malaysia again. That's good work and good stick work as well. As Rosley picks up the loose ball, Malaysia again just fizzing it around, drilled forwards, aimlessly behind. So 90 odd seconds to go before we have the hooter. So Malaysia will get us into this final minutes. This wouldn't be too bad a scoreline, it has to be said. Played just behind again, a side hit from Malaysia. Well, the corner as it used to be. You're allowed to take it in from that little angle now. Again, Malaysia just happy and content to keep it over there. Slow things down slightly. 3-0 victory would be enough, but there's still another half to go. Countdown begins. Played just wide as well, and it was flicked just wide by Matthew, who's been a thorn in the side of the Singapore defenders, that's for sure. They have worked hard, Singapore, and they've done well. This Malaysian side vastly experienced, and going into this competition red hot favourites for the gold medal, that's for sure. So for it only to be 3 at half time, that says a lot about the Singapore team and how they've done. So they're all, the little huddle seems to be the norm now for any team sport, just to G each other up and get each other going again. They are ranked 13th in the world, Malaysia, so that's just an indication on the quality that they do possess. They were very disappointed not to have qualified for the Olympics in 2012. They thought that they had a real opportunity and a chance for that. It was to no avail. In November, they narrowly went down to India, 4-3. That was the Asian Champions Trophy. They did defeat China 5-4, but lost 1-0 to Pakistan. So, just tells you that they are on the right tracks. But it also tells you and shows you how much Singapore is developing to try and keep on the tails of Malaysia. Of course, the Sengkang complex that was built has a dedicated hockey facility there, and it is a magnificent facility. Of course, the national team training a couple of times a week as amateur athletes. Of course, there is a strong league in Singapore as well, with the likes of Jansenite's Hockey Club, the Singapore Recreation Club, Tornadoes, the Police Sports Association, Singapore Cricket Club, Ceylon Sports Club. Those are the top 6 teams and the teams that are in the Premier League. That's good work and good play from Silverlingham. Didn't win the free hit, thought he was going to win the free hit or the penalty corner. You can see that the pitch in the field has been watered at half-time, as there's a big dip there which is a puddle in, so hopefully the players will stay away from that. Singapore starting this half quite well. That's nice play from Malaysia though. Abdul Talil trying to get the better of Mohamed Farhan, who does ever so well to trap back in there and defend. Was the feet being used there from Abdul Razak? Yes, there was, so that's a free hit. Taken quickly. Everyone being told just to calm down a little bit. You could see just trying to play that back inside. It was Mohan, but well read again. So 3-0. Malaysia leading Singapore. The ball hacked in more than anything from Sumantri. Well picked up by Singapore. Just getting caught in possession there though. It's a dangerous position. That's going to be a penalty corner. Iswapal Singh just coming across there. So, have Malaysia been practicing? I'm sure they have. So Singapore just getting ready to defend this. Oh, it's a good save in the end from Suresh, but Singapore unable to clear that danger. Jumaidi it was who pounced on that loose ball.
From Lisa team, jersey number 13.
Unfortunately, we didn't see the whole action. We're seeing it here. It's scooped forwards as well. The shot from Rahim. Good save from Suresh in goal. Jumaidi, right place at the right time, which is exactly what you want from a goal poacher. 4-0. But again, Singapore doing ever so well there, holding on for a good 20 minutes or so for Malaysia to get that 4th goal. Here come Malaysia again. Abaidi looks up, keeps possession. And looking to switch play. That's exactly what they're doing. Nasir plays it out wide. Played forwards, play allowed to continue. Picked up by Kumar. Held forwards. They've conceded possession again. That's something that they will need to work on. That is for sure. We saw this with the ladies as well throughout the tournament. Their only little blip was against Malaysia. So Singapore hockey moving in the right direction, it does have to be said. That's good, strong, powerful work there. Taken quickly. Abdul Jalil gets to the byline, pulls it back, and oh dear, well, that could have been very dangerous. So a penalty corner has been awarded. Good work there by Abdul Jalil. Took it on quickly, took the mantle on quickly, and tried to hack it in the end, and nearly took someone's head off, but the officials decided enough was enough. So another penalty corner for Malaysia. And Fauzi it will be who will deliver this one. The set, all important here, and the stop. Oh, that's well stopped. That's a good save again from Suresh. Really good keeping from him, but no one closing down. And Ahmad Fauzi, who took the penalty corner, is the man that got on the loose ball and has fired it home inside the D. And again, Singapore, only themselves to blame. Malaysia looking to come forwards again. Looking to try and make it 6 before the end of the game. All not lost for Singapore though. It has to be said in this tournament. That's a nice little turn around the corner, but it won't count. That's no goal. Mishron, it was that just tried the little touch outside the area that you can score in, so no goal given. Singapore have beaten Vietnam 12-0. They've beaten Myanmar 1-0. This was always going to be the game that was the tough ask. They've got Thailand tomorrow. Victory there will see them in the gold medal match, surely. Good work, and a real chance here for Singapore. It's on, the overlap's on, a good save in the end. Keeper's done ever so well. Singapore with a chance to grab on there. It was real good movement and really good passing. He's throwing his body on the line. That was Benjamin Cher. Well, the more this game's gone on, the better Singapore have got, it has to be said. Well, Kumar trying to get in on the action. Good stick work though from Samantri. Keeps possession. Abadi plays it wide. Mizron tries to get to the byline. It's going to be a hit in from the side. Here comes Singapore again. I just wonder if Malaysia have gone to sleep here. Into the final minutes. It's been a doggy defence from Singapore. They've kept it tight when they've had to keep it tight. If they do defeat Thailand tomorrow, they will play on Saturday in the gold medal match. It's the first versus second in the pool, and third versus four will of course be for the bronze. So Singapore need to do the business tomorrow, that is for sure. When you consider Myanmar, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam and Malaysia were in the group, as we're in the final few seconds. Drilled forwards, a little nick there from Mohamed Rosley. Well, Singapore didn't deserve that. they didn't deserve to concede that last second goal. As it were, that means that it has finished 6-0 to Malaysia. But as mentioned, it's all going to boil down to tomorrow for Singapore when they take on Thailand. When they play Thailand, if they win, they will go through to the gold medal match. That is exactly what they will want to look for. Hasn't been a bad performance, quite strong at times, sloppy at times though, conceding possession and giving the ball away a little bit too cheaply. And Malaysia know that they've been in a game today. When you consider the achievements that they've had over the past few months, this very much a test for them as well. As Singapore continues to develop as a hockey nation, really is getting more and more popular in Singapore, which of course is also important. So the players look to leave the field of play. Job done by the Malaysians. No matter what, they are now in the gold medal match. Will they be playing Singapore or Thailand? That will be decided a little bit later on. Will be decided tomorrow when the two sides go and face each other. As the Singapore guys walk off and just ponder what may have been, what could have been, because they did create a few opportunities there at the end. But it is Malaysia that are 6-0 victors. It's down to the Singaporeans to do it tomorrow. Do it against Thailand, you got a gold medal match.
So we've got more variety to our coverage this evening. We've got the women's 3-meter springboard and the introduction of
Indonesia.
The divers here. We've got from Singapore, Myra Lee, Eka Indah,
representing Malaysia,
Eka Purnama Indah from Indonesia. And there's a firm favourite for this one, the defending champion, Cheong Jun Hong. There's the second of the Singapore girls, Fong Kei Yan, and she is just 17 years old.
Representing Myanmar,
we have Dewi Setyas Singsi from Indonesia, and then the local young girl, she's just 11 years old, Tet Mu Shui Sin, and then the second of the Malaysians, Ong Yan Yi. In fact, the Malaysians are in fact the defending champions from Palembang. In fact, both of them took the gold and the silver in Palembang. So Cheong Jun Hong will certainly be the favourite for this, together with Ong Yan Yi. But it will be a question of whether Singapore, with their two competitors, can actually upset the Indonesian, I think, here, because there's a big chance for both Fong and for Myra Lee to make some waves. We hope not too big ones, because obviously on the entry, the whole idea of this is that you really have a smooth entry. We've got the first dive for Myra Lee. She's just waiting. On the actual degree of difficulty, it's 2.4. 105B is actually a forward 2.5 somersaults, and that is with pike position. So let's see whether or not she can actually execute this one. Obviously the starting position is important, then the run up, the takeoff and the flight and the entry, all important. Let's see if she can manage this with style. That's a good start. It's a very solid start from Myra Lee. Does well with that. Degree of difficulty 2.4. Not the hardest by any stretch, but I think she'll be pretty happy with that opening dive. The 19-year-old
Judges score
Singapore didn't have representatives for the last, I think, 5 occasions. So this is a real big ambition. Just a little bit over-rotated at the end there, just a fraction over-rotated, but a good strong position in flight, and then came past the board well to make a good entry. Let's have a look at this. All round 48, that's a good score. 7s and 6s, let me just explain to you, in fact, that if you manage to get a 10s, it's an excellent. A very good is 8.5 to 9.5. A good is 7 to 8, and that was a satisfactory to good for Myra Lee. We've now got the Indonesian girl, Eka Indah, and she is the oldest in the field by a long way. She is in fact 30 years old. She's got a 4.05, and that is, well, just a little bit under-rotated there, but her attempt at the inward 2.5 somersaults, 2.7 degree of difficulty. It was a free position, so we'll see what she manages to achieve with that. Eka Indah. And you see the camera position there, so we'll pick up the score. There it is, Eka Indah at 44.55. 5s and 6s, so satisfactory there
from Malaysia
for that particular dive. And the judges, of course, there's 1 from Singapore, 2 from Malaysia, and we've got Indonesia, in fact Chinese Taipei, Philippines represented, and in fact we've got an assistant referee here from Singapore, Jasper Lin, as well. So all's fair all round with the assessment. And this is again another inward dive, and pretty well executed there by Chong Jun Hong, and she in fact is one of the favourites, I would say. Very, very impressive. Chong Jun Hong, and look at that score of 60.75. 7.5s and a couple of 7s. The 2 7s will get dropped. A couple of the 2 7.5s will get dropped as well, and then that assessment puts her in a really good position. The defending champion has done well with her dive. Now let's see what Poomsae Yan can do. She's again got a fairly simple dive here to start with. 105B is the code, and that's a forward 2.5 somersaults with pike position, the same as her compatriot Myra. Let's see whether she can get a really good height there. Lovely, oh yes, just a fraction over-rotated on the entry, but that was a really solid first dive there for the 17-year-old. Kei Yan, a little appreciation to the judges. And there's a score, 50.4. That's another good score. 6 5s to 7, so verging on the good. Good is 7, satisfactory is 6 5. So she'll be pretty happy with that as an opening dive. Poomsae Yan. Now we've got Dwi Setianingsih from Indonesia.
105B, 2.4.
For her, we've got a 105B, so it's the same dive, exactly the same dive as we've just witnessed, a forward 2.5 somersaults. Let's compare them. A double bounce initially in, and that wasn't a bad dive either, was it? Dwi Setianingsih comes to the surface, and I'm sure she'll be pretty pleased with that. In diving terms, that is quite a simple dive. 46.80. It's a little bit under the score of Poomsae Yan, so going in at 4th rank position. We saw on the top left corner of that graphic just a couple of moments ago. 4th position, and her compatriot is just behind her. Now we've got the Can you believe this? 11 years old, Poomsae of Myanmar. How brave is that to come in front of the cameras at 11 years old? She's going to start with a 403B, and that means that we've got an inward 1.5 somersault with pikes. So adjusting the fulcrum point there, she obviously is much slighter, much smaller, much lighter than many of the others, so she would need to just adjust it a little bit to get the appropriate height that she'd normally expect. And there's a big interest around this Wonatekti indoor pool here. The first dive for an 11-year-old Myanmar representative. Lots of breathing, just a little nervous as she starts, taking her time on the edge, and look at where she is on the balls of the feet. That is so difficult to keep for that length of time. You see the technique here. The starting position still bouncing. The takeoff and flight, and of course the entry, very important. My goodness, she really is staying there a long time. That requires huge concentration. Inward 1.5 somersault piked. And that's a good effort. A little bit over the top on the entry. But nevertheless, a really good first dive. Quite simple. But let's have a look at the score. And there it is, 34.65 altogether. And in fact, if you analyse it, it is actually an almost satisfactory performance there, according to the grading of the score. So well done to the Myanmar diver, Tetmu. Now, the 20-year-old Malaysian, and this is Yan Yi, silver medalist in Palembang. She's got a 405B, so again she's going inward, so that's inward 2.5 somersaults, and it's got a degree of difficulty of 3. So good scores here for Yan Yi, potentially. Oh, she gets really close to the board. Excellent timing with that. She doesn't touch the board, so she's not affected by that. But let's have a look. Yan Yi, I tell you, that was very close on the rotation, but she executed it well, and we will see what her performance is now. There you go, 63. That's a really good score to open. So that's the first round complete. We've got 5 rounds to come. And there you go, 63 at the top, and it's Yan Yi who leads at the moment. But look at Singapore in 3rd and 4th position. Possibilities here for a bronze medal, the first time of asking in 10 years. We'll have a look at the second round dive then. And this is the 4th ranked at the moment, Myra Lee, after 1 round. Her second dive is a 405C, which is an inward dive. Inward 2.5 somersaults, and that will be with tucks. So everything happens in rotation very quickly with this. She's got a knee bandage there. Suggests that she's been working really hard, and again, just a little bit off in terms of the rotation. It wasn't absolutely straight in line. There was a little bit of left to right movement there with the rotation, but nevertheless it's a good effort, and we'll see the score in just a couple of moments.
6.
And there it is, 99.3 is the total at the moment there for Myra Lee. She got an individual score of 51.3 for that particular dive, so improving all the time. It was a 2.7 degree of difficulty. Here is the second diver now, Eka Purnama Indah of Indonesia, and her dive, 105B. This is a little bit simpler, forward 2.5 somersaults, and these will be pikes. And again, she's got that peculiar jump, 2-footed jump, and again she's over the top a little bit, not quite controlled. You'll see the difference between the Malaysians and all the other divers here. They've got a lot more experience. They've been at it a lot longer, and it definitely is very easy to see the contrast. Eka Indah right there, 94.95 altogether. But 50.4 for that particular dive, so she's done pretty well here.
107.
Right, now the Malaysian Cheong Jun Hong, the defending champion. Malaysia have got a great reputation in diving. I'll tell you all about that in a little while with some of the other names as well. Let's just have a look at this particular dive. It's a forward 3.5 somersaults, and just look at that. That is absolutely amazing. To go from 2.5 to 3.5 somersaults, albeit forward, it's still a really, really difficult transition. And that's a good score.
7.
Look at that, 58.80 for that one, and a 6.5 for Judge 1 and an 8 for Judge 7. I'll tell you who Judge 7 is. It's a Malaysian. And that's a surprise, isn't it? Judge 1 was an Indonesian. Well, 6.5 to 8, a little bit variation there, that's for sure. But, still, that means that Jun Hong gets a good position. Now, bit of pressure again on Fong Kai Hian of Singapore. 405C means again we've got inward here. Inward 2.5 somersaults, and that will be in tuck position. So again, lots of revolutions in the flight. Nice concentration here. Good height, nicely close to, and that's a good entry too. Wow, Kei Yan of Singapore has put in a good one there. The 17-year-old is certainly executing well. The flight was good, entry was good, vertical, not too twisted. And have a look at that, 55.35. She is ranked 2 at the moment, so she's in second place. Again, very, very satisfactory to good from the judges there. Excellent. So great work there from Fong Kei Yan. This is a big outing for her. 55.35 altogether, 105 points in total. And now Dewi Setianingsih, and she has got a 405C again inward. In fact, she's been copying the Singapore girl with all her dives at the moment. Inward 2.5 somersaults, and again tuck position. So again, quick rotation, concentration. Just look at her, right up on the ball of the feet, right up on the toes. Yeah, just a little bit overcooked the entry there, Dewi Setianingsih. But a degree of difficulty of 2.7. So we'll see what she has managed here right now.
5.5.
Was she happy? 43.20. Now it puts her back in 5th round, 5th position. That was not the greatest dive we saw. A little bit of a nod for the coach, giving her some advice there, of course. But okay, the next one is the local little heroine, you might say. 11 years old, Khoo Shuisen. She's got a 203C. Now 203 is a backward 1.5 somersault, waiting for the clearance to go. It's backward somersault, but with tuck position. So she's going to go over the top, and she's got to get really good height. But last time we saw her nervously on the edge of the board. Are we going to see her wait for as long this time? It certainly is. Nerve-wrackingly long, isn't it? Wow. Building up the concentration here. And that's obviously what she's intending to do here, building it up and then exploding into that backward. Oh, she nearly just missed the entry there. Went out a little bit soon. Her backward somersault was complete, that's for sure, but it almost left her a little bit short. But a score of 35.15. In fact, it's satisfactory score again all round. 5 to 6.5 is satisfactory, so good girl. She's really competing very, very well here at the moment. We've got one more competitor in this second round of competition. 5 rounds altogether. 107B for forward 3.5 somersaults, and these will be piked. Forward 3.5 somersaults of pike. It's a degree of difficulty of 3, so a really tough one for Yan Yi. She needs huge height, and she's got it. And the entry wasn't bad, a little bit of extra splash, maybe a little bit undercooked, but that was a very, very good effort there for Yan Yi. And we'll just see the scores for Yan Yi. There you go, 65-10, that's brilliant. And she's in the lead at the moment, Yan Yi, after round 2. We'll take a short break and then join us for round 3 in just a moment. But there you go, Yang Yi is in the lead. Xiong, the champion from 2011, in second place, but Fong Kei Yan holding her position as bronze medalist at the moment after 2 rounds. Let's take a break. Join us for round 3 in just a while.
Round 3. Myra Lee, 205C, 2.8. 205C, 2.8.
So, Myra Lee's third dive of this competition, the 3-meter springboard for women. The 19-year-old Myra Lee Jiao Win has put up a good show so far. And she's now got this one, it's 205C. This is a backward 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. So, lots of height required. Lots of good flight movement and then a great entry. Oh, it's just a little bit short. She struggled on the entry there. She might be marked down a fraction for that. It certainly wasn't as smooth and as good looking and as vertical as we'd like, but that's a score of 50.4, and again very satisfactory. And there's a 7 in there somewhere there as well. Judge 3 from the Philippines, Arthur Vito, has given her a 7, so that's a very, very good score, and that's a good in terms of the calibrations of scores. So well done to Myra Lee. Excellent work. So now Eka Purnama Inda. She's going to do the same dive. This is a 2.8 degree of difficulty, so this exactly the same as Myra. And this one, backward 2.5 somersaults and tuck position again. Again, big concentration. Just look how high she goes on the ball of the foot. Lifts and, yeah, again, just struggles a little bit, just a fraction short on entry. Could have done with a little bit more rotation earlier, and then she would have been vertical. But the timing is so hard, isn't it? Very difficult. But 54.60 is a good score, and a 7.5 and a 7, 2 7s and a 7.5. That's very, very good. In fact, that's better than Myra Lee just before her. So good stuff there from the Indonesian.
305.
Now, Jun Hong, she's in second place overall after 2 rounds of competition. This is very, very important to her, this third round, 305B. This means that she's going to do a reverse dive. And this will be reverse 2.5 somersaults. It's a tough one. Oh, wow, that's excellent. What an entry. That could be the dive that overtakes the #1 position, and that was a really, really big pressure dive at a pressure moment, and she's made a big statement there. Excellent dive, and just look at that, 8 5s, 7 5s. Wow, that is very, very impressive. 69 is the score, 188 altogether, and that will take her up into first place. Yep, she's ranked 1 at the moment. A lot will depend on Yang Yi's dive, but that was a nailed it type of dive from the Malaysian girl right there. Great work from Chong Junhong. Now, Fong Kei Yan is in 3rd position overall at the moment, waiting for the moment to compete. Here we go. She's got a 205C, a backward 2.5 somersault, again with tucks. Backward 2.5. Lots of height required here. Good concentration. Let's look at the entry as well. We're on good flight. Entry, not bad at all. Maybe just a little bit undercooked, just a fraction, but she'll be pretty happy with that. Again, good control. And these Singapore girls are learning a huge amount about competition right here. Let's have a look at it. 57.40, 3 7s and a 7.5. Wow, that's very, very good indeed. Judge 6 is the Malaysian, so given a 7.5, and well, you have to say that's a very, very good score. So excellent. She'll keep her 3rd position at the moment. So next diver is Dwi Setyaningsi, and she comes now again. It's a 205B, so it's a somersault, backward somersault, but we're going to see a pike position here. The B is a pike position, C is tuck. So this is a B, pikes. There you go. And well, she just didn't quite hold that position again. The entry with the backward or reverse dives is such a difficult thing to execute.
Judges score.
She did well, but I think she'll be marked down just a little bit for the entry. But there's a good score, 46.50. In fact, just back a little bit, isn't she, with 5s and 5.5s. Just on the satisfactory position at the minute, and that will drop her back, I think, down the table a little bit. But Dwi Setyaningsi did well there. Now the local girl, 11 years old. I keep saying it, but I just can't believe she's brave enough to come here. 301B is a reverse dive, and it is literally a reverse dive, and it will be reverse, and it is piked. Simple dive, and in fact she just messed up the entry a fraction there. Reached for the water a little bit late, and well, she will get marked down for that. It was a fairly simple dive, but there you go, 5s and 4.5. Well, okay, 28.5. Put it all down to experience, young girl. You've done well. So now Yang Yi, she was in the lead up until that excellent dive from Chong Junhong. Really put a beauty together in this round. Ong Yan Yi, and now we've got a backward 2.5 somersaults. Again, we're going to see with pikes. She's certainly heavier than any of the others here, so we'll see a lot of height off the board, the end of the board. Here we go. 1, 2.5, and she just missed the entry again, just a fraction. She'll be disappointed with that, I think. She was in the lead after 2 rounds. This is the end of the 3rd round. Let's see whether or not Yan Yi, well, she holds that position. 63, 7s and 7.5. A 6 in there from the 5th judge, which is the Indian Maya Vyas. And a little instruction there from the Malaysian. Malaysian's very, very strong. Here we go. This is round 3. Yan Yi still holding it. Junhong in 2nd, but Kei Yan still in 3rd. Let's take a break. Come back for the 4th round in a while. Start of round 4, and again Singapore's Myra Lee concentrating, and you saw she is really having a very good series here. Nothing spectacular, but certainly no mistakes, and it's so important that no errors creep into the performances here. Singapore coming to these games first time for many years, and in fact are putting on a great show. Malaysia have been concentrating on diving for a long time and have done a fantastic job. They've got 11 divers. 5 of their 11 divers are first timers, so we expect Malaysia to do well. They are, in fact, they picked up the bronze medal in London in 2012 through Pandalela Rinong Pang. So they've got huge experience, and they are expected to do really well here. They are leading this 3-meter event. They've got gold and silver at the moment, but Singapore have got a chance for a bronze, and that is a really big news at the moment. I hope you're enjoying our coverage of the diving, because it's not often we do that. We covered obviously at the Youth Olympic Games, where we had some interest, but right here and now it's all good to see once again. 4th round dive then for Myra Lee. Oh, and she was short on the entry, and nerves just creeping in a little bit there. That reverse 2.5 somersault, it just was not quite exactly as she'd have planned. And again, it's all about experience. There's a score, 37.80. Yeah, 4 5s and 4s. That means that she's coming back down to almost the under-satisfactory. It's the deficiency side of the score. And, well, she won't be happy with that after putting in 3 great dives. Round 4 has left her wanting a little bit. It's the same dive here for Eka Inda. And we'll see whether or not she can get a better entry. 305C. It is the reverse 2.5 somersaults, and the C is with pike. I beg your pardon, with tuck. So let's have a look at this. A peculiar start, but tucks. Yeah, and I think she just a little bit overcooked. Myra was just a little bit under-rotated. Eka was just a bit over, but I don't think she will be penalised as much. We'll have a look at the score in a moment, but again, a solid performance. Score 47.60. Yeah, you can see the difference. Okay, there was a 4.5 in there, but then we looked at 6 as well. So she did better at the same dive as the Myra Lee. And now Jun Hong, she put in a fantastic dive the last time. The last round, in round 3, she's now competing with the backward dive. This is a 205B, so that's a backward 2.5 somersault, and we are looking at pike position. So she's really pushing hard to retain her title. What has she got here? Oh, and she'd already completed the rotation and got into a good position. It wasn't as spectacular as the last round, but it certainly was very good, and I'm sure she'll be up into the 7s, perhaps in the 8s as well. She is. Look at that. 7, 7.5, 8, and even an 8.5 from one of the judges. Very impressive. In fact, it's Ken Nee who's given her the 8.5. So that will be a very impressive score, and definitely one that will put her in the lead. So Fong Kei Yan, she has got now a chance to reinforce her position in bronze medal at the moment. She's in 3rd place. She's got a 305C, which is a reverse 2.5 somersaults. Here she goes. Oh, she's got very low on the board. Oh my goodness, that is a disaster. That's an absolute disaster for the Singapore girl. Wow, you have to feel sorry for her. She was in bronze medal position, but Fong Kei Yan, she didn't get any height from the board. In fact, it looks like she slipped, and she'll be so disappointed. I think that's a tear coming through there, because that is a disaster for Singapore. Look at that score, 9.80 in total. Oh my goodness me. Back into 5th from 3rd position, and that really was a disaster. She didn't get any height off the board, or the rotation was below the height of the 3 meters, and no chance of pulling it back. Now, with that problem for Fong Kei Yan, Doi Setia Ningsi could actually take full advantage. She's got the same dive. Let's see what her fortunes are like. The approach, the lift, much better. She comes way back off the board, and there's a very good entry. Wow, that is called learning from experience and learning from what she saw before. Did you see the way that she actually started way back behind the edge of the board? At the end of the board there, Fong Kei-yan almost fell off it, but look at the difference, 40.6. Not brilliant scores, but they didn't have to be brilliant, because her closest opponent really messed up in the fourth round. Oh, you have to feel so sorry for Fong Kei-yan, and promised so much looking at a bronze, and has dropped back to fifth. Tet Mu Shui Sin now from Myanmar. She's got another fairly simple dive. 105 is a forward 2.5 somersaults, and I think they will be tucked. And again, she takes a lot of time in preparation, in mental preparation before. She's obviously going through it in her mind. Yeah, not great height. In fact, she went so far away from the board, she didn't get the rotation that she required. She was undercooked on the entry, and that really will be marked down as well, I'm sure. See it, but again, great experience for the 11-year-old. Tet Mu Shui Sin, there you go, 30.80. Again, they're being quite generous, I think, the judges here, 4.5 and 5 for those. But there's still the talking point there is the disaster of Fong Kei-yan. Absolutely horrendous for her. Yan Yi. Okay, now this is very important. She keeps her composure here. 305B again is a reverse 2.5 somersaults, and we are looking at piked. Again, she stays back off the board, and look at that. Oh, that is very impressive. Excellent work from Ong Yan Yi. Aren't these Malaysian girls excellent? Their execution was superb, and although they're pushing each other here, Yan Yi is not going to give it up early. No, she's not. 69 points there. 8s and 7s and 7.5s. Perfect stuff there. Well, that was really impressive. So let's have a look at it now. Yan Yi keeps the score after 5. 1 round to go. We'll take a little break. Join us for the last round.
Final round.
Fifth and final round here, Myra Lee. She has put on a really good show. Although her scores haven't been huge, she's not made any real errors. She would obviously have preferred to have higher scores, but she has been very effective and is hanging in there in 4th place at the moment. Still a chance of getting up to take the bronze. Good work from Myra Lee. Here we have at the moment the 5.233D, and that is a good performance. I'm not sure whether it's good enough to take the bronze medal, but all round we see that back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists. There's a load of twists in there, and they score 45.60, a total score of 233.10. And you have to say that's a pretty good score. In fact, she got a bronze medal in an invitation, the 4th diving invitational event in Singapore earlier in the year. Got a 2:28.85 in this event. So she's improved on that score. That's great work for Myra Lee. So we've now got the final dive of Eka Purnama Indah. Again, it's got some twists involved, and it's exactly the same dive. So this one, back 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. Yeah, those legs split a little bit. Did you see that in the flight? And she'll be marked down for that. You've got to keep those legs really tight. Good pointing of the toes on the entry. And although it's obviously got a good degree of difficulty, we're talking about 2.4 score. Let's have a look at that.
Judges score 6.
I have to say that there you go, 43.20, not bad. 6s and 6.5, a 5 and a 5.5. So a good finish there for Eka Indah, the 30-year-old. She's obviously very experienced, and comes up there with a final dive, which puts her down the rankings. But this is the final dive of Jun Hong. What has she got here to offer? There's going to be some twists in this one as well. Oh, what a finish. That is absolutely stunning. Jung Jun Hong, she has been in second position throughout. She was 2.55 points behind her compatriot prior to that dive, but I tell you what, that might make the difference. It's a fantastic dive by Jung Jun Hong. 2.9 degree of difficulty, and that is a very, very impressive final score. 69.60. That gives a 327.15 altogether, and that really will now be the target for her compatriot Ng Yang Yi to beat. Now you have to feel sorry for this young girl, Fong Kei Yan. What a disaster, from 3rd position back to 5th after that terrible 4th dive. And now we have 2.4 degree of difficulty for her. And this is a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist, and that's a much, much better, super dive to finish off. And that just shows the 17-year-old, really, after all the problems that she had with the previous one, she's now recovered really well, and that shows concentration. Good girl. 45.60. There's a couple of 7s in there as well. So 2:18.55. She's not going to get into the medals, but you have to say, well done for coming back so well. Excellent work from Fong Kei Yan. A learning curve, no doubt at all about that. Now, Dui Setianingsi. She's got her eyes really on the bronze right here. She's got a target of 2:33 to beat, and that's with Myra Lee at the moment for Singapore. So let's see whether or not she can manage that. It's going to be, again, a back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. Here she goes. How good is that? Well, in fact, it looks like it could... she's dropped back there.
Judges score.
It's not as not as good a dive as we'd expected, although 6 5s and 7s, not bad at all. Score 41. She's back in 6th place at the moment. Yeah, in fact, it was not the best of dives there by Setya Ningsi. But at the moment, Eka Indah is in 3rd position, so she is in bronze medal position. But Singapore dropped back off the pace a little bit after showing so well in the earlier rounds. Tep Mui Shui Sin from Myanmar, she's got a final dive 5.211, and I have a look at that to tell me exactly what it is. And it is a back dive with half a twist, a simple dive, but they've all got to start somewhere, and under pressure again she's got this concentration, visualizing the dive in her mind before she executes. She's in last place at the moment, but oh yeah, well, Okay, it was a very simple dive, wasn't it? And I don't think that that's going to be judged too well either. I think that was pretty poor. In fact, I don't think that was actually an execution of the dive that she told us that she was going to do. She's judged to have a score of 27 there, a total of 156 altogether. And here we see it's not exactly the most complicated, and certainly the entry was undercooked as well, wasn't it? But all good for experience. Now, the final dive of the competition, the 3-meter springboard for women. Eung Yan Yi has got to do something really special here. She was in the lead right up until the last round. She needs a 3:27 or better. Oh, and there's a twist as well. Now, this is really going to come down to some very, very tight judging. Has she upset her compatriot and defending champion? Let's have a look at this. It's going to be very, very interesting here. Oh, she's not. She's in second place. 63. It's not enough. It's 4 points off the first place position. So she held it for 4 rounds and then given it up. So it's a very, very impressive performance all round. The last dive from Cheong Jun Hong does the business. She takes the gold. Eung Yan Yi takes the bronze, the same position as in Palembang, and it's Eka Indah that takes the bronze medal for Indonesia.